I'm going on my hair. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have so many thoughts right now. A lot of thoughts. But I want to say this before I get into like the bulk of what the video is about. I was listening to the intro music of this concert I went to, and we're gonna get into the concert that I went to. I had a great time, by the way. My voice kept going out, and so like this is the day I went to work. Mind you, before I went to work, I probably got like 3 hours of sleep. Cool. Went to work, worked my 12-hour shift, got off, did some errands, and took a 2-hour nap, and then I went to this concert. So them bags, heavy. I didn't wear no makeup, bitch. I started and I got irritated. I was like, fuck, we going barefacing this bitch. I don't think it was a bad decision. Now, as I was waiting for the concert to start up, they did have some music, and that is what I'm going to just start the video with. Okay, so they're playing like a plethora of good music, I will say that. But this one particular song stuck out to me. Now, I think I ended up hearting it, yeah. It's called Lovin' It by Little Brother featuring Joe Scudda. And then I was like, what is this song? I like this song. And so as I'm reading the lyrics and shit, I was like, let me go see the album. The album is called The Minstrel Show. And let me tell you, ever since like I don't know what it was, but it made me look at the show completely different. I did not look at the show. I still enjoyed the show as a whole, but like it also made me look at the show as like people really love that over the top extravagant ass shit that a lot of artists like Doechii do. And I cannot blame them, because like if you think this is what it is to be a part of the culture or be in an essence of a moment with someone who is actually just enjoying living their true self, hey, fuck you. You know, fuck you. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so she had an opening act. His name was Kyle Banks. I'm gonna say, for what I've already heard by him, I know What You Said by Isaiah Rashad, and I also know How About Your Feelings by Smino. Now, when it comes to his actual music, I actually don't know much of his actual music. But one thing I will say is he had one song that he actually has music with a lot of people that I listen to too, which is crazy. Was one particular song, two actually. One was like a more so Houston, kind of like a Houston, Texas beat. I don't think that's where he's from. I think he says he's from Dallas, or like a town near Dallas. Bro, this mode is horrible. Me and this growing out this hair is just killing me. And then he had another beat. It reminded me of Crunk Ain't Dead. Like, that's exactly what it reminded me of. As a whole, though, he does have a good stage presence, and he does have good interactions with the crowd. So I did enjoy that part. Although I didn't know his music, he did make it enjoyable. And it wasn't awkward. Like, you know how you have some intro acts, or opening acts where it's just awkward as fuck. His was not awkward at all. Not by far. He did a really good job in my opinion. He's not my type of, I will say this, although I may not be the audience he is looking for, he does have an audience out there, because his music it's not horrible. I'm just not his audience, and I'm okay with that. Not everything that you hear that is enjoyable is going to be for me, I guess would be the best way. No, that's not the best way to say it. Not everything that someone makes is going to always reach the proper audiences first time, but it might reach a proper audience the next time. You just never know. I hope I said that right. Okay, so let's get into it for the fans first. I will say I did like the outfits. My original outfit was actually a vest, but I didn't have the right pants, so I ended up wearing a denim hat with my baggy jeans, a fitted white tee, and a cardigan. Like, I was cozy. My original outfit was within the theme, but then like I couldn't find the pants I was looking for, and I gave up. Like I said, your girl wasn't about to dress herself for one. I hadn't had enough sleep too. So yeah. I say out of everything that I saw, like with the skirts, the 90s themed outfits, and the sweaters. I say I like the sweaters the most. Specifically like the cardigan sweaters and the I call them college sweaters. That's not what they're called. They're like crew neck sweaters. They're pretty thick. I see a lot of college graduates have like their universities on them. Those are the sweaters that I'm talking about. Those are typically my favorite looks. There were many of women who did look beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, all the women look beautiful. But one of my favorite looks were more so just like the college prep look, I guess would be the best way to say. They just looked like they were comfortable. I was in here. I will say, I was not as cold as I was going to be, but I was still a little chilly. One thing I will say is this is not my first time seeing the set, like, pieces of the set of what Doechii did perform today. I went to an event earlier this year where I did get to see, I think, up to like part 4 of what she performed tonight. Tonight, I believe, had like 6 or 7 parts. So yeah, I was not completely lost on what I was going to be seeing, but it was nice to see it all tied together into the whole performance. I have been blocking people on TikTok to not see her performance, so that was one thing that was very funny, because I was trying really hard not to see like any pieces of the performance. I really did want to be surprised. Although on some pieces I did know what was coming, because like I said, I went to an event earlier this year where I got to see her perform a piece of her current tour set. I wanted to thoroughly much enjoy it. Now, I already knew this because she looks pretty whenever she's just on her TikTok doing her things. Doechii is very pretty in person. I liked her hairstyle specifically because it referenced like the early 2000s with the little Bantu knot, not the little, but the Bantu knots, the bang, and the back part. I was like, that's so cute, and it's very much like high school. I don't know what era she went into high school, but I know like early 2000s is very much Brandy coded, and I like that. I think Brandy did have a hairstyle like that on her show, so I was fucking with the hairstyle. For sure. Body, yeah, her body looks good. Her body looks really good. She would have never said it in one of her interviews where it's like she's like, it's not, or whatever the fuck she said. Yeah, would have never known, because body looks good as fuck. Her work looks very natural. Wouldn't have even known she had work if she wouldn't have said it. So yeah. So this is my first time seeing her actual DJ. I did not know what her DJ looked like. Like, I knew the DJ's voice, but I did not know what her DJ looks like. Her DJ is also very beautiful. And I like the interactions that they have back and forth. It makes the show more enjoyable, and it reminds me of the like the starting of hip hop, to where you had a performer, which would be Doechii, would be in this reference is going to be the MC, and you had a DJ, which would be her DJ. Those two playing off of each other's energy was very nice to see. It reminded me of how rap used to be before it became what it is today. Rap hip hop used to be before it became what it is today. It was a nice element that was very much refreshing. Like, of course, like, people are gonna have when they have their sets, they're gonna have their DJ that they interact with, but the way they did was very nice. It was very nice indeed. I would say I enjoyed myself from beginning to end. There was like, I want to say there's 3 songs I didn't know, but really there was 2. I didn't know the last, that's cap, I didn't know the last song she performed. So I knew one of the songs she performed, but I knew it from a reference from another song, and when I finally got to that song, I was so excited because I was like, what reference is this song from? So I knew that piece, but I didn't know the entirety of the song. And I also didn't know a song that she performed whenever she like takes a break and then she goes back into it. So in total, I didn't know like 2 songs. So she does perform a lot of her album, and I did enjoy that, because I don't like when people do tours for albums and they don't perform the actual album. So that part was enjoyable. And she also goes back and performs like all her hits throughout the years that she's done. She didn't do Yucky Blucky though, which is cool. I came in later, so it's cool. It's cool. I still got to hear Spooky Coochie live, so it was worth it. Now, mind you, I'm not well versed in Spooky Coochie. I be laughing more than anything every time I hear the song, but I am aware of the words. So yeah. When I first came across Doechii, I came across Doechii through Yucky Blucky. So yeah, that's how I came across Doechii, which is pretty cool to see how far she's gone since then. I knew nothing about her YouTube until like shit, I think she mentioned it like this past album. I knew nothing about like a lot of shit. I'm more so just involved in the music side when it comes to people. I don't really know much outside of if they're doing other stuff outside of their music. I'm more so, when it comes to artists, I like to just stick with the music. The other stuff they do, I think is pretty cool. How she does have a TikTok. She does do things for her people, for her part of her fandom, who is very much heavily involved on the internet. And I also enjoy the fact that she does interact with her fandom. That much I will say is very, and not in a parasocial way either. That much I will say is very, very nice to see in an artist, and it's refreshing. There is one thing though that I will say that did happen at the show, and I found it very, very refreshing too. So, and I see a lot of artists are starting to do this now. Even whenever I was younger, I saw artists do it. I don't know when it stopped, but I'm glad it's coming back. So during the show, something had happened, and she stopped the show. She was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna continue the show if like they're not okay," which I commend, because given the amount of time something has gone wrong, because like they've been like, "Hey, you got this," and they just kept going, and things eventually got worse. I commend that as like a good not only person morally, but just like good artistry and respect for your fans, because she could have kept going. Honestly, she really could have. She already told like at least 3 people to go to that area, and she could have proceeded to go about the show. I'm stuttering hard. I'm so sorry, guys. But she instead stopped. My guy, you just gave me a heart attack. Hi, cat. This is the one time I'm actually having a hard time picking a favorite part. I say the mixing of like her song with other songs, and the scratching part. I say those 2 parts are probably my favorite part out of everything that I've seen today. So yeah, we get to the end. I'm trying to keep this within at least 15 minutes. As a whole, Dooooooechiiiiiii does have a amazing stage presence, like from beginning to end, amazing stage presence. And not only that, she has great crowd interaction. And to see her smile and be so just glowy and happy the way she is after coming, you're just gonna rock my whole car. After coming from the beginning to the point she is now, is actually very refreshing to see, especially from a Black woman. We know that we have to do a tremendous amount of work just to even get like to half of the spots that we see other people reach. So to see her have like blossomed into everything that she's currently doing is amazing. I know it's probably like a very euphoric feeling too, just standing up there enjoying the aspect of your fans. 10 out of 10 on stage presence. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not surprised that she performs the way she does. I ain't gonna lie. Based off of all the different genres that she's touched throughout her entire career, I'm actually not even short of being surprised that she performs the way she does. I hope she does go far, or she reaches the heights in which she wants to reach, and she goes and does whatever she wants to do. I definitely enjoyed the show. I definitely enjoyed the outfits. I went to have a good time and to sing my little heart out, and I did. So yeah, I hope you all have a great night or a day, whatever time you're seeing this. And until next time, see you later from Piggy.